It's time for States and Capitals. Annapolis, Maryland. Richmond, Virginia. Charleston, West Virginia. Raleigh, North Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina. And Washington, D.C.
You probably know that Washington, D.C. is the capital city of the United States of America. It is the city where our federal government resides and gathers together to make important decisions and laws. You also probably knew that Washington, D.C. has many historical buildings and museums that honor the people and ideas that have made America a very prosperous and free nation. But perhaps you didn't know that from a geography point of view, Washington, D.C. is not in a state. It sits in between Maryland and Virginia, but it is not part of either of those states. The city of Washington, named after our first president, George Washington, is in the District of Columbia.
District of Columbia? What does that mean?
It was first called the Territory of Columbia, Columbia coming from the name Columbus. And you know how important he was in introducing Europe to the New World. In 1871, it was officially named the District of Columbia. It is specifically a federal area and not in any state, so that there's no conflict of interest when it comes to governance. Washington, D.C. is a place where leaders work for the United States as a whole.
I'd like to add one thing about Washington, D.C. It burned. In the War of 1812, Great Britain invaded the United States and set fire to much of Washington, D.C. They even burned the White House.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Well, they rebuilt the city after that. And you want to know something interesting? After the Redcoats burned down Washington, a terrible storm came through, with rains that extinguished many of the fires, and with winds causing destruction and confusion to the British Army. You should look that story up sometime.
Well, thanks for that, Grandpa. And now you know more about our nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
Annapolis, Maryland. Richmond, Virginia. Charleston, West Virginia. Raleigh, North Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina. And Washington, D.C.